The market don't move because of your fancy trend line or your fancy indicator or whatever you put on the chart. But at the end of the day, it still boils down to the fact that the reason why price goes from £10 to £15 is because of the interactions between buyers and sellers in the market. So in this video, I'm going to be taking you through what demand and supply zones means, how to identify demand and supply zones to know how to participate in the market. Because if you know a demand zone, if you know how to identify demand zones and you know how to identify supply zones, it basically means you know how to identify when it is time for buyers to take charge and when it is time for sellers to dominate the market. But now, identifying those price points in the market, identifying those demand zones in the market, identifying those supply zones, how to mark up those zones, how to identify those, how to see those zones is one of the most challenging thing in the market. 3 years later, you can see that this zone still held, this particular price point still held, this particular supply zone still held. Sellers are still interested. Even as far back as 3 years ago, people still have that muscle memory. People still have the memory of what happened here and are interested in doing the same thing here. That's why technical analysis is key, because it just pinpoints human behavior